Hello everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to be building a flip-flop LED circuit. And you can analyze this circuit over here to see what parts you need. Okay, so I'm here by my work desk, or aka my computer desk. Anyway, so obviously all you need for this circuit is a PCB or printed circuit board or prototype board or whatever you like to call it, 2 LEDs, and you don't need all of these resistors, but I have all of these resistors because in the circuit for this you need 3.7 volts, but here I have 9 volts. I have 6 10K resistors over here, and here I have 2 100 microfarad capacitors. These are polarized capacitors. The way to see if it's polarized or not, my camera can focus on it. There we go. Come on, camera, wake up. There we go. To see if it's polarized or not, you must just look at this band. If this band is over there, then it's polarized, but if it isn't there, then it doesn't matter which way you plug it in. The polarized capacitor is the same as a normal capacitor, but it just matters which way you plug it in. So if I plug it in the wrong way, like if I plug the negative into the positive, then the circuit will not work because the capacitor is broken. Yes, you will pop your capacitor if you plug it in the wrong way. Okay, so these transistors are BC547 transistors. You need that transistor specifically. And obviously my battery, like I've showed you. And here are all of my jumper wires. And here are just 2 crocodile clips with one end of it exposed. Yeah, because I'm going to connect this to my battery, and then I'm going to connect the exposed side of my crocodile clips to the pins on my PCB. So yeah, let's get started. This is what my circuit looks like. I drew it. You might be wondering what this is. This is what the transistor looks like. If I can show you here. My camera must just focus on it. There's a... Okay, my soul. Okay, one side of the transistor has a flat side of it. The other side has a curved side of it. That is the collector. The middle one is always the base, and the E is the emitter. So just imagine by looking at it from the top. And then these are the pins. Yeah. So from the flat side you can see that this is the collector, this is the base, and this is the emitter. So yeah, I just wanted to show you that. So the first thing that you would want to go get doing is you can go decide if you want the yellow one to be the positive or the negative. That doesn't matter. You must just plug it in the right way on the PCB, because you can see the plus and the minus. If you plug the positive into the negative one, then it's not going to work because you plugged it in the wrong way. That's what a diode is for. Okay, just pause. I didn't really explain it very in depth, so I'm going to do it now. Okay, so a diode will just protect your circuit from reverse polarity, or you plug in the positive into the negative, or plug in the negative into the positive. So if you want to protect your circuit from that, then you can go ahead and add a diode. But I don't think that's necessary for now. So the yellow one is going to connect to the negative, and then I'm going to connect it to the negative side of my battery. I'm not going to do that now. I'm just getting it ready. And then I want the white wire to be the positive one. So yeah, I have it connected now. Then this side will connect to the positive side of my battery. But again, I'm not going to do that now. Okay, so you'll go ahead and get your resistors. So you see these numbers on the side of the board, on the side of each row. See those numbers? I'm just going to plug it into specific numbers, but you don't have to plug it into the same numbers. So yeah, so the one leg of the resistor, I'm plugging it into row 30, and then the other side goes to row 24. Then go ahead and get your other resistor and plug it into the same row. Oh yeah, and just so you know, it doesn't matter which way you plug in the resistor. A resistor isn't polarized. All polarized means in electricity is that it is positive or negative, and that matters. Oh yeah, I also wanted to show you this. You must plug in the resistors like that. So the one leg of the other resistor can't go to row 23, but it must go next to the one resistor leg. Okay, so I have my resistors plugged into my PCB, and just so you know, that photo that I showed you, you must do it going down as well, all the way down, and you must also do it on the other side. Okay, so now we're going to put in the capacitors. So this is again really important because this is a polarized capacitor. Okay, so this must go from the one leg of the resistor. Let me just show you. This is how it must be plugged in. And the nice thing about a flip-flop circuit is that you must just do the same thing on each side. So I did the same thing with the resistors on this side and this side, and now I'm going to do the same thing with the capacitors on this side and this side. Okay, so now I put in the capacitors, and now you can put in the LEDs. There's one thing to do. If the LED legs are bent like that, then you can't see which one is longer and which one is shorter, which is one of the things that will tell you which one is positive and negative. So I can do a macro shot of this on my phone, but you must look on the top of it. There's going to be one flat side. So in this picture, you see that flat side on the LED. Yeah, I'm going to point an arrow at it. Yeah, that's the negative side of the LED. LEDs are also polarized. Okay, so now looking at the flat side of the LED and the non-flat side of the LED, you can see which way it must plug in. Okay, so the LEDs must go on top here, like that. Sorry. There we go. You can plug in like that. Oh yeah, now we're going to plug in the transistors, and if you want to know what type of transistor you have or what model it has, then just look on the back. It should tell you. Like mine says BC547, which is the correct transistor for this circuit. Okay, so I'm going to put in my transistors. There we go. Now I'm going to make sure if it's in the right pins. Yeah, it is in the right pins. Now you must do the same thing on the other side. There we go. And you see that the transistors are facing the same way. Yeah, that's how you must put it in. So the flat side must be pointing that way, and the curved side must be pointing that way. Here it is under a macro camera. Okay, now you must turn your board around. Now you can get two red wires, connect one part of it. Oh, you call this a jumper, but yeah. So you connect that side of the resistor leg to any part of the positive row. This is what it looks like. Now do that same thing on the other side. There There we go. I did the same thing on both of the sides of my board. And now, from the capacitors, you can turn your board around again just to make it easier. Now, from your capacitors, you have to overlap the wires. So you have to connect the capacitor to this side and this capacitor to that side. Because if you connect it like from one side, then these two are just going to stay on. So yeah. Okay, now that you've done that, now you can get 2 more jumpers. You can get these very short ones. You can connect the emitter side of the transistor to the other emitter side of the transistor. This is how it should look. Okay, I've neatened up my circuit a little bit. You don't have to do the same thing. But now you can take 2 of these jumper wires. Then you must go from the negative side of the capacitor to the negative side of the LED. There we go. Okay, now I've done that on both sides. Now I'm going to do a macro shot to show you what it should look like. Okay, now you can take 2 jumper wires. Now what you have to do is you have to connect the negative side of the capacitor to the collector side of the transistor. There we go. I have it connected. Now I can do the same thing on the other side. Okay, there we go. Now I've done that on both sides. And now for the final thing. Okay, so you go from the emitter side of the transistor to the negative side on your board. Okay, now the moment you've all been waiting for. Me blowing up my capacitors. Okay, no, I don't want to do that. So the white one is the positive. So on my battery, that's the positive. So I'm going to connect it. Now I'm not going to clip this one on so that I can do a quick smoke test. What happened there? Okay, so what the problem was that the LED just turned on, only the one LED, the red LED turned on, but then after it turns on, then something just clicks and then the LED turns off. Then when I reconnected it again, then the LED was dim. Now let me go ask my dad to see what's wrong. Okay, so if you plugged it in as soon as I plugged it in, then well, the problem that you are having is that you might have connected the negative side of the capacitor to rail 5. You see here, it's connected to rail 5. Yeah, you're supposed to connect it to rail 6. And I did that same thing on the other side. So all that you have broken are your 2 LEDs. Okay, so I fixed the problem now. So the yellow is negative. So it must go to negative.
Put positive on first.
Okay. So yeah, always remember that you must put positive on first. What will happen if you don't?
It just cause arcing.
On the battery?
Yeah.
And then the battery life will go shorter.
Just touch it first before you... There you go. Police.
Police. Woo! Okay. Now I can actually clip this on because it works. Would you look at that? I've slowed it down here so that you can see it better. So yeah, you can use this as police lights as a prank, but only on people you know, not strangers, because then they might call the actual police on you and then get arrested for making people think that the actual police is coming and stopping by their house. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and so these LEDs has lasted a nice long life, but there's always a time to go.